Today, our adventures bring us back on over to Universal Orlando Resort for some rumors, including potential Pokemon, some updates on Dreamworks and other things around the parks, so make sure you strap on those shoes, grab those wands, and take a walk with us around Universal Orlando. Good morning, everyone. It is Mitchell, aka The Walker in Orlando, and welcome back over here to Universal Orlando Resort. And good morning from a very cold morning here in Central Florida. When I mean it is cold, it is 47 degrees, and for us, that is cold. I've got pants on, I've got long sleeves on, I've got layers on, but we are back to Universal to check out some updates and address some rumors that will be happening. So we're going to first start in City Walk, talk about some things there, maybe get some breakfast because I am quite hungry, but then we're going to head to Universal because they got a lot of rumors and a lot of updates happening, including a Lagoon show returning, so super exciting. Make sure you hang out with us as we go around at Universal. If you happen to come to Universal Orlando early in the morning, there are plenty of options for breakfast. You do have Cinnabon right here, which is very popular, but you do also have Moe's is serving up some breakfast. They have breakfast burritos, breakfast bowls, so something to check out. And then around the corner you have, of course, Voodoo Donuts. So this is something if you are interested and you want some food, they do offer that. And I do think some of the restaurants in the park do offer some breakfast. Not as much, but very limited, but they do offer some. So our first stop is going to be off over here to the old Universal Legacy store. The Universal Legacy store was kind of where you had a lot of your classic attractions. They had some cool things from like past attractions and just some things in general here. But the thing is that now this is under construction because this is more likely turning into the Epic Preview Center / Epic Merchandise Preview Center. So this is going to house potentially a giant scale model of Epic Universe. This is also going to have some merch for Epic Universe so that they are already selling stuff, so when it does open, people can already have that merchandise, so don't be surprised if you see us get some. But also, the rumor is that this is not going to possibly open until closer to early June. The rumor is that this right now is going to be closed all the way from now until early part of June. Now, the reason why it'll hold all the way till June is because that is when we will potentially get a potential opening date for Epic Universe. Now, as far as you know, if you checked out our construction video, Epic Universe is very much way under construction. It is moving at a brisk pace. But with the opening of this store, they could be releasing the opening date. So that could be really huge, and it could potentially mean that when this opens, maybe a year after this opens, Epic opens, we'll just have to wait and see. So we'll come back and check it out, see if anything changes. Right now it still says Universal Legacy Store, but we'll have to keep checking that out. Something also, it is 9:08 right now. Both parks opened at 9. Neither one of the parks had early morning access. So I will be intrigued to see how busy the parks are to start with. Kind of based on security, it's not horribly busy, but I mean, it's just one of those things of, as the day gets farther along, it's supposed to get into the mid-60s, so you may see more and more people come out at that point. Now, if you're crazy like me, you want to come out as early as possible, then you come right at park open. And like I said, if you're looking for breakfast items, you can stop here at Voodoo Donuts, and they have some very good donuts here. I know a lot of people say they're kind of stale. I don't ever had that issue, but you can see the line is fairly short to start with this morning, and you can mobile order in the morning. So, but you can see the line's not super long right now, and I would get donuts, but I am trying to save some money, and I say that, and I was probably still going to buy something else in the park. First stop is going to be over here to Universal Studios, Florida, because there is a lot of rumors and lots of updates over on this side of the world, and then we'll head over to Islands, check out a little bit over there as well. Well, they do have an exclusive pass holder entrance that looks like it is off to the right and around the corner. Now, I'm glad to see that because they did test out for like a 6-month period having an exclusive pass holder entry lane, and it worked out really nice because for a lot of pass holders, we're easily just to walk right in. Now, on a day like today, where it's not horribly busy, we're just gonna go right on in because there's no lines. Now, if there was lines, I would have gone over there. So you happen to do the pass holder exclusive entrance, and it's actually around where the ticket sale is right there. So, like I said, on a really busy day, it can be really helpful to have that. So it's something I'm kind of glad to see more of. Also, the last time I came, when they started doing, because they started doing the photo verification instead of using your finger now, it is a lot faster that way. And I will kind of be interested to see how does it work for Halloween Horror Nights. I think I made the same comment last year about this time when they started working on the turnstiles and like updating them and adding more. Because During Horror Nights, it seemed to move a lot faster because they had more of them, but it will be intriguing to see what is the process look like with having the photo verification for Halloween Horror Nights, and does it make it quicker, and is this technology they're testing out so they can use at Epic, because they really going to need to make sure all that is perfectly ready to go for Epic. Well, I was interested to see how long Minion Blast was, but it's only a 10-minute wait, so I think let's go ahead and do Minion Blast. Well, I haven't done this in a long time since they were doing all the previews, and the last time we couldn't like film anything past the actual like pre-show area. So it says 10 minutes, but there's no line. Pretty much no one in line this morning. Just kind of showcase how not busy it is. So I'm actually going to try out connecting my phone to the blaster this morning. So I may not have my camera out to show you guys, but you could sync your blaster to it. So we're going to try that out. Well, that was genuinely a good time. I do like the fact that you can sync the app up to the blaster and it keeps track of your score. I had a weird trouble with mine. If you have an Android, it's going to be like on the middle part of your phone. If you have an iPhone, it's like on the top part of the phone. So, but I do want to address one of the first rumors that I have heard, and this has kind of been a long-standing rumor, but I've never seen it like this, so we'll talk about it right now. So Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is one of the older attractions here at Universal Studios. It is also one of the biggest like coasters here. However, this ride has been under a lot of scrutiny for a long time in the fact that they could be closing it down soon due to just the fact that like it's old, it's worn out, it's not as popular anymore. The talk I saw was that at the end of 2025 they may get rid of this ride altogether, and I would love to see something else come into this space. Like, I mean, the only downside is this fits so well into the little bit of space it's in. What would you replace it with is the question. But right now it's not open. They're doing some testing, probably a little bit windy and cold, because if it's too windy, this cannot run. And this has always had a lot of issues, especially with the lift hills. So that's kind of a major rumor with this, because it would just get rid of a big ticket item here at Universal Studios. Well, they have started working on bringing some of the food booths for Mardi Gras, which starts February 2nd. Now, we will not be coming to Mardi Gras right away, because we will actually be in California during that time frame, so we'll be missing out on the beginning of it, but we definitely will have to come out and check it out, because the last couple of years the food has been incredible. Oh, and it does look like they have started working on the skyline of the New York skyline space right there behind the New York Public Library, so that is something kind of cool to see. I was intrigued though, because I thought they would end up putting, so we talked about in City Walk, them putting in that Legacy, in the Legacy store, putting the Epic Preview Center. A lot of talk had been that it was going to go here at this area, but I think they want to keep this space open for the tribute stores, because I bet you they already started working on the Mardi Gras tribute store, which I'll tell you what, every year is gotten better and better. The Mardi Gras, or the tribute stores just in general, have become taken on its own life, and it's an attraction in itself most of the time as well. Alright, so I actually think I'm going to do Revenge of the Mummy. Wow, Revenge of the Money. I want to do Revenge of the Mummy, and it's only posting a 10-minute wait right now, and Minion Mayhem posted 10 minutes, and it was a walk-on, so I'm going to have to put you guys, unfortunately, in the locker for now, and I'm going to go come face-to-face with Emotet and the Revenge of the Mummy. Alright, so that's definitely worth going in and doing that, because it was only a 10-minute wait. They are only running one side, so be mindful in the mornings, depending on the crowd levels, they may be only running one side of Revenge of the Mummy, but like, I'll tell you what, the single rider line was a walk-on. I should have gone that side. I went through the regular line thinking, I don't trust single rider, I don't ever trust it, and yet let's walk right in. Well, something I really wanted to come show you guys is, like I said, the Lagoon show here at Universal has been gone for some time, but it looks like they are slowly starting to add things back in. They've got some sprayers back up, they've got some people working out there right now, so very interesting. I mean, go over to the other side, to like the Central Park side, to check that out. But it looks like they're also doing some facade work over in the San Francisco area, right next to the Ghirardelli sign. So lots of things happening at Universal, and mostly because this is the slow period for all the theme parks. So this is when you're going to see a lot of work being done, stuff happening, some refurbishments happening, just because it is slower and you're not affecting people coming to the parks as much. So you can see they have really been working heavily on this. They've got a lot of things happening. Looks like they've got the fan sprayer right there, but you got these right here, which they have the little nozzles in the middle that move around. So no official announcement what's coming for Universal for the nighttime show, but I will tell you the cinematic celebration was one of my favorite things Universal ever did. They really utilized the space. It looked amazing. It has great soundtracks. I love the projections they put onto the buildings behind it. So hopefully something good comes, but no word yet. But you can see how far down the water level is for them to work on it. And when it does get full, you'll see all this will be covered. But it is nice to see how they do it, where they have to lower it to get it onto these platforms to work on it. Another thing also as well, I think it's still true, is that Mel's Drive-In is still closed right now for some refurbishment being done on it, which again, it just showcases they are putting money back into the park to keep up with everything. And I think it's because once Epic opens, they're really going to be focusing heavily on Epic, on their new theme park. So anything they can do, they're trying to take care of now. Well, I did also just forget it. I'm glad I kind of walked it this way. Let's see what time is it? Because part of Universal Studios does not open until 10 a.m. So the ET area, Simpsons, everything of that nature. So I'm kind of glad I've worked my way around this way, because right now it's about 10 minutes till they open that up. And I think Wizarding World is open as well. So right now, Simpsons, ET, Men in Black, that area does not open until 10 o'clock. So you gotta wait about 10 minutes before you're allowed to go that way. And it looks like they're letting everyone in now, so works for us. We're actually gonna make a quick stop into the Central Park area, which is what I think this is called. Just take a quick look at the work they're doing on the new fountain show that they're working on. Like I said, no official word from Universal when this does open. What will it be, what will it entail, and what will it be called? So I am very excited to see this come back, but maybe you'll have a better way of being able to see it from all the way around the lagoon. But I always loved, if you got this spot right here, you got some of the great fountain displays, the music was fantastic, and they put projections all on those buildings, which looked really good. And I was kind of sad to see it go, because they also did stuff for Halloween Horror Nights, so I am excited to see that come back. The reason also I wanted to come over here was I wanted to see if I can get a decent view of the Dreamworks area, and you can see, look at Shrek's house right there in the background. It looks so good. I don't know if you guys could see it very well, but you do have the new Troller Coaster, which love that name for it. But the walls have definitely been pushed back very, very far. And the new Dreamworks sign is up, so we're gonna go over there and check that out and get an idea of how tall Shrek's house is for his swamp. And as you turn the corner right now, you got the Literacy Animal Actors on location, and right off to the right, you've got the Dreamworks area, and look at the sign. It's a very pretty sign, but look at the size of Shrek's house. And what's always interesting to me is look at how they're building up a facade right behind it, because this rolls right up next to E.T.'s Adventures, which is kind of funny because I thought this would have been the end of E.T. However, there's apparently a rumored lifetime contract that E.T. has to be open while Steven Spielberg is alive. Now, I'm not sure that is actually true or not, but I could definitely see once E.T., if they decide ever to get rid of it, which would, in my mind, be a horrible decision because it's the last opening day attraction here at Universal Studios, I can see DreamWorks fully taking over this entire area, including SpongeBob. So, but I do love it. You've got Kung Fu Panda, the trolls there in the corner, and Shrek. And you get to go into a swamp. So, but I do want to show you some quick pictures of the area that BioConstruct took. And like I said, if you haven't followed BioConstruct, I'm going to leave his, put a little thing in the corner so you can see it. But here's some of the videos some of the pictures he's actually taken of the swamp area, including all the work being done on the Troller Coaster. And it's pretty impressive that this started work about a year and a half ago, I think it was. About a year ago, they closed down this area. And this was the original, what a lot of people don't know is this was the original space for what was going to be Nintendo Land until Epic Universe became a reality for Universal. So definitely something to look forward to. I'm really excited they're really embracing it because they got rid of the Shrek attraction in favor of Minions, which I do like a lot. But I'm glad Shrek still does have a home here. But this does bring us to our biggest point that I want to talk about. So I left this rumor for probably the last here at Universal Studios because I kind of wanted to really emphasize how big of a rumor this is. The biggest rumor, and it's even big enough that Park Stop Orlando had even brought it out, because the talk has been the Simpsons Springfield area will shut down and potentially get rethemed into a Pokemon section. Now, this has always been a rumor. Springfield's always been on the chopping block potentially and everything else, but the reason why this has a little bit more legs to it is that behind the Simpsons ride is the what do you call it? Our tents that usually are permanent tents for Halloween Horror Nights. There have been new permits been asked to remove those and move them behind where the animal actors on display is, which means 2 to 3 houses are going to be displaced this year. Again, 2 over behind where Dreamworks is going to be going. Now, that only can mean one thing, that maybe Springfield has limited time left. Now, in my mind, would not be the biggest loss losing Springfield. I don't think Universal wants to continue with it, especially with the fact that you do have Disney who owns the rights to the franchise, and to do any work you have to pay Disney to do that, aka you have to pay Fox, who's owned by Disney, to do that. Now, this would kind of entail with the potential that there is a legal contract between Universal and Nintendo that at every one of their theme parks they have to have some sort of Nintendo licensed item there. For a long time here we thought we were going to get Nintendo Land at UniversalStudios, but then Epic took that. So the new rumor has been completely redo this area, which, be 100% honest with you, be perfectly fine with, and potentially make this into a Pokemon area. So that is the biggest rumor mill that they've got going on, and I would love to see what would they end up doing for attraction-wise and everything else. And if they did Pokemon here, now you put 2 of the biggest franchises in Harry Potter Wizarding World and Pokemon literally right next to each other, and it would really emphasize this park more and more, because you could easily turn that into a spinning ride that is like you're riding on a Pokemon through the air. So I really think that could be a potential, but again, right now that is just rumors. But the reason why this has more legs is because of those permits to move the houses for Horror Nights, because they've already started working on Horror Nights for this year. Now, I do get why that this area would be considered a huge loss, because the Simpsons are super popular, but I will tell you, this is one of the worst attractions here, is the Simpsons attraction. Like, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for it, they're going to think that I'm an idiot, whatever, all that stuff, but the only reason why, it's the old Back to the Future ride, and Back to the Future was an amazing ride, and the fact they ever got rid of it was kind of annoying. So, now getting rid of this, I think, would be the best option for them, and it's considering that they don't even open this until 10 a.m. now. Now, same thing with Men in Black. Potentially Men in Black could also go as well if they did that, because I think they would rather give up on Men in Black to bring Pokemon in. And yes, it would be a huge loss, but maybe you could do a Pokemon like Catch Them game or something, or a Pokepix, you know, the old game that they used to have. So I don't know, but what do you guys think about this? Because of the fact that I personally would love to see this change to Pokemon, and I'd love to see what they would do with that IP, because again, Pokemon is hugely popular, not just in the United States, but with people from Japan. It would be the first of its kind as well, and I think it would revolutionize Universal as a whole. But again, take all that with a grain of salt, because nothing has been announced, nothing has been confirmed, just some permits been put in place, but it is something. When I hear a rumor that's this heavy, it tends to have a lot of leg to stand on. Now, until Universal announces something, and knowing how they do it, they will start work on things before they ever make an official announcement. Just look at Velocicoaster. It started working about 8 months before the shutdowns happened. They worked all the way through. Still didn't announce it until 6 months before it opened in June of 2021. So, definitely could be interesting, because that's how Universal runs, and that's how they've always done it, and that's why I think nothing is ever going to be set in stone unless we see work actually happening. So we'll have to come back to see if we see anything happening, or if there's any rumors or potential talks of losing Simpsons, or if there's a potential closing date for it. It is a good thing, though, that I am noticing how much there are been talks of things changing, rumors happening. It just means that there is still talks of things to do with this park, because my number one concern was what would happen to Universal Studios once Epic opens, because I got really concerned that they would not do anything. Like, this park, islands are both landlocked, there's not much you can really do, so hearing the potential of the Pokemon area and then expanding it back means there is still some space somewhere for them to work on. Now the next thing they need to really consider, Fast and Furious needs to go. Just, let's be honest and honest. I know they spent a lot of money to build it. I know they built that huge building, but you can reutilize that building and build an actual attraction for Fast and the Furious. I mean, Universal Hollywood's getting a whole coaster. You tell me you can't build a coaster or still something to put in there? Because I was expecting something like Test Track for it, and nothing ever happened with it. So, like I said, they need to figure something with Fast and Furious. It is such a dud of a ride. Now you're starting to see some of the crowds are starting to come in more and more. So definitely coming here right at park open or a little bit before, around 9 o'clock, can actually do really well. Because like I was able to do Minion Blast, and I was able to do Revenge of the Mummy. I could have easily done E.T., Men in Black, and more likely Harry Potter Escape from Gringotts, all within the first couple of hours of being open. So I just have a lot I need to do and look at as well, because I want to go over to Islands and look at some stuff over there. But definitely coming in the morning, especially during the slow period, you can get a lot more done. Well, I just walked out of Universal, and you can already see lots and lots of more people are starting to show up. And I think what it is, a lot of people don't want to show up while part of the park is closed still. So they waited until it got to be a certain time, and now they're coming over because now, as we are talking right now, it is a little after 10 o'clock, and everything at Universal Studios is now open. So, but I'm gonna go head over. I think I want to stop off and get something at Voodoo Donuts. I'm not sure, because like I am kind of hungry, but also not hungry. Like it's a weird thing. And then we're gonna head over to Islands. Well, decided against Voodoo Donuts. I thought I'd just save a little bit on that. I'm not super hungry now. I've been walking around, had a little snack before coming out, but I do want to head over to Islands of Adventure just to check out anything going on over there as well. Well, the crowds are starting to finally arrive this morning. It is actually getting kind of warm out, and it is getting a little busier. I was already looking at it. Velocicoaster is already posting a 45-minute wait. So definitely tells you that being here right at 9 can make a difference, especially on a cooler morning as well. So I definitely think that as the technology gets better, especially with the facial recognition, it will get faster. But just right now, it took a little bit longer for others to get it, because with the way they scan it and then you have to step back almost to the camera, I think that needs to change just a tad bit. Maybe have it more facing inwards towards the guests, but I don't know. It's just one of those things of, they'll get better with it, and maybe it's just a learning curve, especially with Epic, that they're trying out things particularly for Epic Universe. So you may think the longest wait at the park right now may be for Velocicoaster, maybe in the Incredible Hulk. Nope. For Starbucks. Starbucks always has the longest waits in the mornings at most theme parks, so if you're looking for your caffeine hit, you may want to try somewhere else. So walking into Marvel Superhero Island, I wanted to quickly show you that the main entrance to Spider-Man right now is still down right now, as they work on upgrading some things and everything else. But if you're interested, where do you go? Because in the past when they've done this, they've left like a side open to get in. They've actually completely moved the entrance of the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man to all the way around the corner, past the Auntie Anne's, past the comic shop, across from where the diner is, and around the corner on the left is where the entrance to Spider-Man is going to be for the time being, while they do all this work on the main entrance. Now, it just may be some concrete work. They may be redoing the entrance a little bit more, but it just shows you that they're willing to put some work in, and this is the time of the year that they will do that work. So here's the entrance to the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. For the time being, it's one of the extra areas where the extended queue space is. So just beware that if you're looking for the entrance, it's going to be almost around the corner, almost right as soon as you're leaving Superhero Island going into Toon Lagoon. And also, they have officially moved the UOAP Pass Holder Lounge back over to Islands of Adventure, and it's going to be in the Boop Boop Doop, or the Betty Boop shop right here. But it is only open daily from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But if you're interested to know, that's where you'll actually will get right now. They're not doing the buttons anymore, or magnets, but they are doing lanyards again. So last time we came, ended up getting a free lanyard, and so it actually worked out really nice for us, because I needed a new lanyard anyways. The many reasons why I cannot stand Florida weather. When I first got here, it was 47 degrees. It was so cold I could see my breath. I was actually kind of cold. Now that the sun has officially come out and I've been walking around, I'm starting to sweat. And I may take off this jacket. I do have a long sleeve with one of my Universal shirts underneath, but I may take this long sleeve off because I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I will tell you, if you want some of the best views of Velocicoaster, or even of just this lagoon, or just the center point of islands coming up behind the SS me ship Olive is a great spot, because here you get a great view of Velocicoaster, especially going over that top hat before it kind of holds you before you go down. You can see it come in over the 0G stall, goes into the kind of the twisty section over there. It goes up and around at very high speeds before ending, because you'll come over this little bunny hill into the Mosasaurus roll, which I'll tell you what, the Mosasaurus roll is intense. It's fast, it's low, and it just feels like you're gonna fall out, because I mean it only has a lap bar on it, but this is some great views of Velocicoaster. But it's also just great views if you want to come down and take some photos as well. So despite some previous claims I made quite a few years ago that I really like Fast and Furious more, I really come to like Skull Island Reign of Kong more. I love the theming, I love how everything looks, and I do love the idea of the attraction itself. Now the one thing though I wish they had figured out was how can they make it work where the trucks can go outside all the time even when it does rain, because I feel like in the rain this would be so cool to come through. And I get it, it's a trackless ride system and everything else, and it's just for safety reasons, but I really wish they had thought about it, because I mean you do live in Orlando, in Florida, where it can rain all year round. Also just be aware, if you are coming to Universal and Islands of Adventure, Jurassic Park River Adventure, the water ride here, is currently down for refurbishment. Now this is normal, they do tend to take the water rides down throughout the first part of the year to do some work on them, clean them up, do some painting and everything else, because the water rides do tend to take more of a beating. Because of all the water, it makes them wear down more, but also you can see there, it looks like they're really working on painting this up. Now I really wish they would have turned this into Jurassic World as well, but I get why they didn't, because of having Velocicoaster. So I can't remember what the next ride, which one's going down next. Is it Deadly Do rides or Popeye and Bluto's? But the water rides do go down for some little bit of refurbishment, some cleaning, and it's always the first 3 months of the year. I tell you what, the fact that the way that they designed this, where you could see this almost anywhere, showcases how much thought they put into it. But also the fact that this is easily one of the best roller coasters in the entire world. And I mean, it is not the biggest, it is not the fastest, but boy, does this thing pack a punch and a half. You got this first section, which is like the spaghetti bowl, where you're essentially in the raptor paddock. And then as soon as you get through it, you then launch with the raptors and race with them on the back end. Because you have them go up and around, you come to this, and then you go right for the launch. That then takes you right up the giant top hat. That the way that it's designed is so cool, because it twists you up and then drops you down. I know like I'm kind of going around and checking things out, but I kind of want to just avoid Hogsmeade. Hogsmeade can be very just crazy busy with as many people are starting to come into the park. I kind of want to avoid it for now, for the time being. And so, like I said, wasn't a lot over here I wanted to look at per se. I want to see Velocicoaster go by a couple times. But I really want to talk about the Lost Continent. Now, the Lost Continent is the space between Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Seuss Landing. This is the area that had the Poseidon's Fury area, in which that recently is just closed. Now, no official word what's going to replace it, but we'll talk about more of what the rumor potentially for this area is. Now, this is a very loose rumor. It's not as heavily favored like it is for the Pokemon area over at Universal Studios, but we'll still talk about it, because I want to talk about all the different rumors there are, and maybe in a year's time we can see what rumors came true and what didn't come true. So because of the Lost Continent space kind of slowly starting to phase out a lot of things, like you had Poseidon's Fury here, which recently has just been closed. I mean, not recently, it was been almost closed for a year. But you do have the Lost Continent space, which seems to have a lot of more rooms than I realized, because I thought it's only like this space, but then you do have the big, amphitheater that is behind this, plus all of this space. So the rumor for a while, and it still seems to be kind of heavy, is that this area could get replaced with a Zelda space. Now it already has the theming for Zelda. All they do is do a little bit of painting, rework some things, probably rename Mythos into something else, or they may leave Mythos as is and just try to work around it. So honestly, this is one of the ones that is less likely, I think, to happen, but it could still happen because it is still in the Nintendo franchise. But what do you guys think? Do you think that the Lost Continent should turn into a Zelda space? If not, what do you think should replace the Lost Continent? What I do kind of find funny is you can still see the tagline, "Escape from the Lost City." And used to be right here was Poseidon's Fury. You can see they took all of the signage and everything down, and it's now completely blocked off. But this water feature is still there, plus all the rock work. Like I said, I could see this being turned into a Zelda space because it is already very well themed like it. But again, what would they do with it and how would it work? It's all depending on what Universal would like to do with it and some of the things that could be worked on it. So I'm not sure. I would love to see Zelda come through because then you would have more variety. Because over in Epic, you'll have Super Nintendo World with Mario, Donkey Kong, all of those characters. If you brought over Pokemon, well, now you got that interesting aspect in Universal Studios, and Zelda would add another just level to it. So, but again, it's all depending on what they want to do with the space. And the way I kind of said, it's how Universal wants to do with that space. Like, I have a say in what they do. But I do know Universal loves the rumors when they roam around, because I think for them, it gives them an idea of what people are wanting and what people might actually like in these spaces. So it will be interesting to see what they do with it and everything else. So I would love to see Zelda. I think the Seuss space, I think it's going to stay. But I think they need to add some enhancements and do some new things to it. Like, it needs to go down and just be completely almost redesigned or reimagined for it. So they are redoing Circus McGurk's Cafe, and I am hoping that means that they will change the menu a little bit and have something a little bit better, because like right now the things that they have at Universal, where it's just like burgers, pizza, chicken strips, like salads and stuff like that, gets kind of old, and it also gives a chance to try out new things and what does people like when they do open Epic and what they could possibly be putting at Epic. Because I mean, they could be trying out things to potentially bring to Epic Universe. Well, it looks like they are at least doing some enhancements outside of the Cat in the Hat attraction. Normally the sign would be right there, but you can see, look how discolored the cake and the goldfish are. So maybe they're working on painting all that and getting a nice, good new coat to really give more vibrant space to the space. Because like that whole area in the background, the facade, needs a little work. Well, now we've completely recircled the entire park, looked at some things. Didn't really ride anything because the wait times are getting up there, because I think Velocicoaster was posting an hour and 5 minutes again. So, but I do have to go pick up Kayla from the airport, and that's why I came over, because I also wanted to just check out some things since we haven't been to Universal in a little bit. And actually, fun thing is I actually renewed my pass, and I'll explain why it's a big deal why I renewed my pass. So the reason why it's kind of an important thing that I did upgrade my pass, well, I renewed my pass. Well, for so long, I have done nothing but done the flex pay, because I've not been able to afford to outright buy the renewal rate for my pass. Now, if I could have done it, it saves 20%, but this is the first year I've been able to actually go in and pay full price for my preferred annual pass. And because they ran a deal all the way up till, I think it was yesterday they ran the deal up till, is that now I also get 3 months free. So now my pass not only I have full payments, I don't have to make any payments on my pass, I now have free payment, or I have 3 months for 3 months, and my pass does not expire until next April. So really fantastic, and a lot of that is thanks to you guys, because just over the last year and a half of the channel, there's been a lot of growth. I'm actually starting to make a little bit of money off of this, and because of just the support and constant views, I'm able to afford more things like that, and especially we're able to afford on doing some big adventures, including at the end of the month, going over to California and actually heading to Universal Studios Hollywood. So that's going to be an exciting thing to check out. So, but really, it's kind of everything we've seen here at Universal. Saw all the updates, talked all things rumors, including potentially Pokemon invading Universal. So I really think it's going to be something that will come to fruition. But let me guys know, what do you think is the most exciting rumor? And potentially, what are some rumors you guys have heard? So as I head on out from Universal Orlando Resort, if you enjoyed our trip, make sure you check out all our full collection of Universal Adventures, all the walking trips we make, and all the walkthroughs. But also, there are some updates in there from Epic Universe, so really exciting things to check out, so make sure you check that out. And if you haven't done so, hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure you do leave a like. So with all that being said, as I do head on out, and all things updates and rumors, I will see y'all next time.